What is going on? This is Nick from Evil Shred Fitness. Welcome to another vlog. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Southsea, Portsmouth. I've got a day off from the gym, so I'm just going to chill out today. Look at that, man. Look at that view. So, yeah, it is pretty nice out today. I'm pretty glad I haven't got work either. So yeah, I'm just doing a little vlog for you guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about protein, because protein is obviously something we all know about, but we don't really know what it is. And to be honest, I didn't know until yesterday when I did some research, and now I'm able to kind of tell you. So yay! So what is protein? Why do we need it for muscle growth? So our muscles and our muscle tissue is made up of protein. So protein are made up of 20 amino acids, okay? 9 essential amino acids cannot be produced by the body, so therefore it has to come from an external source, so from food. So in order for our bodies to function and for order for muscle growth to occur, we obviously need to feed our bodies with those 9 essential amino acids. It's possible to get foods that have all 9 amino acids in them, and it's possible to get foods that don't have all of the amino acids in them. So if we were to eat only foods that have only some of the 9 amino acids, then we're not getting enough of the amino acids that aren't in that food, and therefore we're not optimizing our muscular development. But if we combine these foods with other foods that do have those amino acids, then we do obviously get that complete amino acid profile, okay? So it's important to that's why it's important to mix up your protein intake, and this is what then provides your body with its basic bodily functions, such as repairing muscle tissue for after you go to the gym. So it's very important among a lot of other basic bodily functions as well. So proteins are not just important for muscle growth, but for for maintaining muscle development and health as well. So that's kind of what proteins are. So I've prepared a snack for my outing today. It's quite basic, but it does have a lot of protein in it, and it's also pretty healthy and refreshing for a hot day like this out on the beach. So I'll show you what we've got. So we've got full fat Greek yogurt, because I'm not concerned about my fat intake, and we've also got porridge oats as well, and pieces of mango, which was frozen, but it's kind of defrosted now, which is pretty awesome. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you guys a tour of Portsmouth, because there's not much else to do today, and I think you'll find it interesting, because Portsmouth is a pretty cool place. Like, there's a lot of history here, so I'm going to give you a tour of Portsmouth. So we're now facing the south from Southsea, Portsmouth, and you can see right in the distance, that's the Isle of Wight. So that's where I'm from. You can see that is right just over there with the little pointy tower thing. That is, oh, hang on. There we go. So the little pointy tower, I think that's St. Mary's Church. Pretty big ass church. You can also see the hovercraft going out. So that's one of the modes of transport to the Isle of Wight. And it's pretty cool because it travels at like 60 miles an hour, like over the waves, and it can also travel over land as well. So it's pretty awesome. I've been there a few times. And over here we've got Spitbank Fort. So this is pretty cool because there's actually there's 4 of these forts in total. See another one like over there, and there's another one over that way. But Spitbank's pretty cool because it's actually a converted hotel. So it used to be, it was commissioned by Lord Palmerston. He was like the Prime Minister of the time in the like 19th century, and he like had those forts built, and they're also called Palmerston's Folly. There's Spitbank, which is near to us, and you'll get a boat out to that, and that's like a really cool hotel, but I've never actually been on it before. And then over in the distance, you can see No Man's Fort. That's also, I think, a hotel. I'm not sure. It might just be like a swimming pool or something. But I know they're doing something cool with that as well. And then right off to the left, you've got the Horse Sand Fort. That's the biggest of the forts, but it's really kind of like fallen into disrepair. They haven't actually done anything with that yet. And then there is actually St Helens Fort, but you can't really see it from here because it's so far away. But that's pretty awesome as well because you can actually walk out to that on one day of the year. I did it when I was about 8, and that was weird because you have to make sure you get back in time, otherwise you get stranded out there. So yeah, that's kind of the 4 forts in the Solent. So the Solent is basically the stretch of water that separates the Isle of Wight from the mainland. Over there you've got Hassler, and you can see a little tower in the distance. That's the escape tower. So submariners or submariners, I don't know what they're called. Basically people that go in submarines, it's kind of a training ground for them to go and like to test like whether they can cope with the pressures, like pressures underwater and stuff, the varying pressure underwater. At least I think that's what that is anyway. And that's all part of Hassler over there. And there's a submarine museum as well where they've got the HMS Alliance, which is like a submarine like out on display. I don't think you can see it from here. I probably should stop telling you the things that you can't see. But over there you've got the World War II monument, but I can't remember exactly what it's a monument of, but it's a monument. And then you got Spinnaker Tower, that's where I work, and one Gunwharf Quays, it's that big blue one. It's also called the Lipstick Tower. It's actually, when it first opened, it went for, the penthouse right on the top of it went for about £2 million. So you'd have to be like some big shot CEO to live there, I guess. Then that's all of Southsea just over there. Oh, I forgot to show you this as well. Let's bring that out a bit. That's Southsea Castle. That was built by Henry VIII, and in fact I believe it was either in there or it was on the Common, but he watched the Mary Rose sink out in the Solent. It kind of sank just where I'm pointing now, and it was recovered like 400 or so years later over by the harbour mouth over there. So yeah, there's a lot of like cool history here. Portsmouth actually has a lot of history going all the way back to the Anglo-Saxons. So the Saxons settled in Portsmouth Castle, which is kind of like probably about 10 miles or so north of here, and then it expanded out over Portsea Island, which is what we're on now, Portsea Island. But it's also bringing it a little bit back to what this blog is really about. It does have a kind of a sense of kind of there's a lot to do here for getting active. I do a lot of my cardio along the seafront, and it stretches out in both directions for miles, and it just offers really awesome views as well. So it's a great place to get active as well. But being one of the most kind of famous seaports in the UK as well, we get a lot of sea traffic. So you've got like an oil kind of rig or something over coming in. We get a lot of those coming in, but we also get a lot of famous ships as well. We're actually home to at least 3 of the most famous ships in the world. So we've got the Mary Rose, we've got the HMS Victory, we've got the HMS Warrior as well. These are really famous ships used by some famous figures in history such as Queen Victoria, and Lord Nelson as well. During the Battle of Trafalgar, he used the Victory, and that's now in the historic dockyard. You can see right in the distance. You can't see it from here, but it's like behind the Spinnaker Tower. And we also have currently one of two of the UK's aircraft carriers. So we have the Queen Elizabeth. The other, Prince of Wales, is in Scotland at the moment, but we have the Queen Elizabeth, and she's in, I think they're commissioning her for 2020, but I don't know for certain. So yeah, that's still in the harbour. You can actually see that from the top of Spinnaker Tower through the west window. I gotta take you up there sometime when I'm not working. This is the monument I was talking about, but I can't remember what it was for, so I'm going to go and have a look and see what it actually is. I know it's something to do with the Second World War, or maybe the First World War. It's one of the World Wars. So, erected in memory of those brave soldiers and sailors who during the late war with Russia died of their wounds and are buried in this garrison. So I still don't really know what that means. I'm assuming it's it's something to do with the World Wars. But yeah, it's a big monument in Southsea. So that's pretty cool. And then you have this like cool zigzag lines. I remember when I was really little, I used to like run, like follow the lines like going along. So they've been there for a while now. Then you've got the common in the distance there. I think that's what Henry VIII had something to do with that. I think he watched his Mary Rose sink from there. Yeah, Henry VIII used to kind of hang out here a lot, I think. He might have lived here like most of his life, I can't remember. Wait, hang on. That's not the same monument. No, that's the one I was pointing at earlier. Let's go see what that monument is. I don't know what that one is that I just looked at. But there's another bigger monument there with like a green ball on top of it. I'm going to go see what that is. It's got like some lions on it. It's really massive, like it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And it has its own garden as well. It must be pretty important. It has its own lawn. I should know what this is. Like, if my boss sees this vlog, he's going to be like, you need to know your stuff about Southsea, man. Oh, there we go. Yep, so the Portsmouth Naval Memorial. So, yeah, there's a bunch of, like, writing and pictures as well. So, yeah, it's the Royal Memorial. It's, I can't read any of the writing on that. It's too dark. But it looks pretty important with all like the lions on it and stuff. And there's like lions on a gatepost over there as well, like at the entrance. This is pretty massive. Like single ship actions, HMS Carmana, HMAS Sydney. Like just a bunch of Her Majesty's ships written on there for some reason. Maybe they're like, maybe this memorial is kind of like in memory of those ships or something. Oh no, these are the people that died, I guess. This is some guided tour right here. I don't really know anything, but yeah. So there's a bunch of names. So I'm not really the guided tour kind of guy. This is not what my vlog is supposed to be about. I just thought I would do it. As I got nothing else to really vlog about right now apart from proteins. So yeah, that's the Royal Memorial, and there's like a picture of like a ship on there as well. Let's take you a little further along towards Clarence Pier. I'm not sure if I should be walking on it. Towards Clarence Pier. It's getting a bit busier now, but we've got like some fairground rides in the distance as well. As you can see, like a Ferris wheel. It does say like you can't skate or anything on the memorial. I guess that makes sense. It's kind of respectful. You see that yellow building in the distance? It looks like a giant Lego tower. I call it a Lego tower. I don't think that's its official name, but it's one of the student accommodations they built at the Portsmouth University to try and get more international. They're getting a lot more international students now, so they're kind of expanded on their accommodation. They built a few kind of blocks, like tower block type buildings. For those of you who are into like geology, we've got a pebble beach, lots of pebbles and rocks and stuff. I don't think we have any sandy beaches over this side. We got some on Ryde at the other side on the Isle of Wight. But yeah, it's all rocks here. So that's for you geology enthusiasts. I don't know if that would interest geologists at all, but that's kind of a fact, I guess. This is like a board with some writing on it. I'm guessing it's kind of history in Portsmouth. Clarence Esplanade, or Esplanade, built in 1848. That's pretty fascinating. And you can see one of the passenger ferries coming in. That's the one I would get to the Isle of Wight. It's a lot slower, but it's a bit cheaper than the hovercraft. Here's like another monument I haven't noticed before. It's got like some spiky things on top. It kind of looks like that castle from Lord of the Rings, you know, where like the Black Riders live, the ring wraiths, where they live. It kind of looks like that, like it's all spiky and kind of foreboding looking. I can't read the writing on that, it's too faded. But yeah, that's another monument. We have a lot of monuments here. I think we had a lot of kind of history in the Second World War here as well, so we have a lot of monuments. Oh, check it out. Hovercraft going out now. See what I mean? It's really noisy, and it's got like these fans on the back of it. I guess it kind of pushes it along or something. I never noticed the Union Jack on the front of it either. Then we've got some kind of anchor, Battle of Trafalgar. British fleet consisted of 27 sail of the line, that of the allies of France and Spain 33. Of these, 19 were taken or destroyed by Lord Nelson. So yeah, it's like some big ass anchor that was used by Lord Nelson, I guess. So yeah, they have these kind of windows here to stop, I guess, the spray from coming up against you from the hovercraft, because the hovercrafts just, they create so much spray. This is Clarence Pier. It's kind of where the hovercrafts go from, but it's obviously an arcade as well. And it's all kind of arcades along here. It kind of smells very candy flossy. It's really nice. I love candy floss. I haven't eaten candy floss in ages. But it's kind of a bunch of colourful buildings and stuff. And a giant Ferris wheel. I think they're still using it. Yeah, they're still using it. So you can see there's kind of a lot of stuff, especially when we come into the summertime. This place kind of floods. There's loads of tourists and stuff. At the moment, obviously, we're not quite in the the holiday season yet, so it's kind of still quiet. Oh yeah, there we go. Candy floss. Nice. I'll have to do that sometime. I love golf. I love mini golf. Mini golf's way better than regular golf. Regular golf's just boring because you have to keep going after the balls. I don't have to do that. Whereas mini golf, you have loads of like little stuff to like windmills and stuff to like that you've got to navigate the ball through, which is more fun than hitting it like 20 miles. So regular golf sucks, man. It's all about mini golf. So now we're coming out on what is called the Millennium Walk. You can see one of the Isle of Wight ferries going as well. We're coming out in what is called the Millennium Walk. I think it was built as part of the Millennium Project. I think we're not there yet, but we will be soon. And it was kind of part of the Millennium Project that kind of encompassed Gunwharf Quays and Spinnaker Tower, or would have been the Millennium Tower, but it's now Spinnaker Tower. And it's pretty cool because it is has a lot of history involved. Henry VIII again had a lot to do with this part of Portsmouth. We're also coming into what is known as Old Portsmouth. So that's got Chichester Cathedral, or one of the, has Chichester Cathedral, Portsmouth Cathedral. It has Portsmouth has two cathedrals, and one of them is in Old Portsmouth. And you've also got like a burnt out church over there, which I'll show you in a second when we get to that bridge. Yeah, the Millennium Walk kind of starts where that bridge is, sort of. You can see the kind of burnt out church where it's not got a roof anymore. I'm assuming it used to have a roof once. That's part of the old wall as well that used to be used as defences against probably, I don't know, the French or whoever was invading Portsmouth at the time. There's that kind of weird church that's all burnt out, like the roof is missing. So this is the Millennium Walk now. It is a really nice place. I go for a lot of my cardio along here. When I say I go for a lot of my cardio, I've literally done it once so far, but I'm going to do it more now we're coming into the summer period. We're now also approaching the harbour entrance, where all the kind of sea traffic comes in. Again, has a lot of kind of history involved in it as well. You'll also see in the distance the square tower that was put up in the late 15th century by Henry VII, Henry VIII, one of those two. He decides to build a bunch of kind of garrison forts to protect us from probably the French again. It always seems to be the French we're protecting ourselves from. No offence, French, I like you. Got some really fancy looking street lighting as well, or lampposts. They kind of look like Spinnaker Tower actually. Check it out. Like the sails of a spinnaker. They probably copied us. Lampposts copying our designs, man. So you can see the square tower in the distance. I'm not going to go in there today because I think you have to pay maybe, but I don't know. And this is all Old Portsmouth here as well. It's so nice here, it's unbelievable. Like, there's just such a kind of diversity, or there's such a kind of a juxtaposition of old buildings and new buildings, and it's really interesting to see, like, kind of seeing the old and the new clash. There's like a sailboat out there as well. What else have we got around the corner? So yep, we're now gonna, there's the square, the round tower in the distance. Again, that was built by one of the Henrys. I don't remember which one. I'm not a history whiz kid at all, by any means. But yeah, that was also built about the same century as the square tower behind us. And again, that was kind of used, at one point it was an ammunitions thing, and before that it was just used as a defences tower. Defence tower, I guess. I'm going to take you to that. In fact, I'm going to go inside and show you the inside of it. It's pretty cool. The Hogwarts. No, that's not Hogwarts at all. That's hot walls. That's I don't know what that means. Lanterns you see lining the Pyrenees were designed to create a blue necklace of lights around Portsmouth Harbour. So the lights can guide you in when you come in from the sea. That's pretty nice. That's almost romantic. I wonder if some guy did that for his wife or something. So yeah, hot walls. I can't read either. It's not very good. I'm doing well so far. I'm such a great tour guide. So now you got the round tower just coming up now. And then you've also got the harbour entrance here. It kind of goes in that way towards the tower over there. I don't know, what else is there to say? I feel like you got to be here to really kind of get the awesomeness of this place. Especially on a day like this, it's so nice. So we're kind of going into the round tower. It's not very round though, because it's kind of it's got corners on it, man. That's not a round tower. Oh, it's pretty spooky in here. It actually is like Hogwarts in here, actually. Windows. Before they decided to invent glass to put in windows instead, which is probably the best invention we came up with. Because imagine how cold it would be just having bars in your window all the time. Like, I'm cold and it's summer right now. Imagine what it would be like in the winter. Oh, now here's the round tower. Okay, yeah, this is a round tower. All right. Okay. Some kind of mysterious gate going somewhere. Some like really skinny windows. And this is the top of the round tower. And you have some pretty awesome views from up here. Oh, it's well nice, and there's no one up here. So yeah, this is the harbour. Portsmouth Harbour right here. It's got some of the world's most famous ships in it. In fact, there we go, you can see right in the distance, you can't see it very well, but that, with the marquees on it, the little white marquees in the distance, that's the Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier. So she's 280 metres long, so to give you an idea how big that is, see Spinnaker Tower there? Spinnaker Tower is 170 metres from the top, from the bottom right the way to the top. So it's longer than the Spinnaker Tower is tall by about 110 odd metres. So it's a pretty big ass aircraft carrier. I mean, America make them bigger. I mean, America makes everything bigger, but like we had the George Bush and that was much bigger. But considering it's still a massive warship or aircraft carrier. I don't know if aircraft carriers are counted as warships. I guess they're kind of a warship. So yeah, and you got Hassler Dockyard or Mariner, whatever you call it, over there as well. And Gosport is just over there. Yeah, it's pretty cool here. It's really kind of relaxing as well. It's just, there's no one here. You got the hovercraft going out as well, but it's in the distance, so it's not too noisy this time. They need to invent some quieter hovercrafts. That's the next thing they need to do. Not sure how much you really want me to, you know, talk vaguely about Portsmouth sites and stuff, because I'm not exactly a tour guide kind of guy, but you get an idea, you get a feel, you get kind of an idea of how kind of how cool this place is. Like, there's so much going on here. So I thought I'd kind of do a vlog on my hometown. Well, it's not my hometown, the Isle of Wight's my hometown, but like where I live now. A vlog on where I live now is what I'm trying to say. I'll do an Isle of Wight one soon though, because the Isle of Wight is pretty awesome as well. There's a lot of cool stuff over there. So I don't really know how to tie that with bodybuilding and fitness. It couldn't be more unrelated. But I thought you'd probably appreciate kind of a little look around my home, my city. Yeah, I think that's a fitting end to a vlog. I hope you kind of enjoyed it, and I will be posting more stuff in the near future, as usual. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and there'll be more good stuff coming soon. See you later.